Today, young Vault Dwellers, I will be teaching you about the importance of the mission of the Vaults and why it should be important to everyone. And why, as Vault Dwellers, it is our job to one day return to the surface and restart civilization. Today, I will be teaching you about Vaults 31, 32, and 33. Spoiler warning, if you have not yet watched the Fallout on Prime series, this video may contain spoilers, so please go ahead and save this video to come back to later. Unlike other vaults before, Vault 33 is united with its sister vaults 32 and 31, all connected with common cause that it is our job to one day return to the surface and restart civilization. As part of our mission at Vault 33, it was our job to preserve American history and artifacts and the way of life, from seeds to clothes to a radiation-free gene pool. And while all of the vaults are connected by a series of tunnels, each vault prefers to run itself independently with its own bodies of government and its own laws and rules. And so it is that the vaults coexist with each other while remaining separate, only coming together for the triannual trade, where we trade supplies with the other vaults. Often it's a new breeder. Because you can't be doing cousin stuff forever, that's for kids. Okay, so that's the lie that we know the Vault Dwellers have been fed for the past 200 years in this particular experiment, but what is Vault-Tec actually up to? Well, Vaults 31, 32, and 33 do form a tripartite society, frequently trading and intermarrying. Vaults 32 and 33 were meant to be sister vaults to 31, because 31 is the important one.
I've telegram with the overseer at Vault 31. Thank goodness they're unscathed.
31 was designed to preserve Vault-Tec Corporation management. And the Vault Dwellers of Vaults 32 and 33 were specifically picked because they had good genetics in order to make the descendants of the Vault-Tec managers physically healthy super managers. Inbreeding was heavily discouraged to prevent abnormalities, which is why you can't do cousin stuff. Vaults 32 and 33 did take it seriously that they were preserving a way of life, including farming, so Vault 33's primary crop was corn. But what happened to Vault 32? We're not exactly sure what happened to Vault 32. We know that it failed 2 years before we meet our beloved Lucy in Vault 33.
And I'm an active contributor to the well-being of my community.
It failed sometime around 2294, with its residents being reduced to infighting, cannibalism, and starvation. It's also implied that once they discovered what the truth of Vault 31 was, they ceased to exist. While it isn't clear what happened to the residents of Vault 32, it is implied that they were perhaps subjected to a similar experiment such as the Rat Utopia experiments, where the rats were given unlimited access to the necessities of life, wanting for nothing.
All the padding that you really want. Overpopulation. Life fight for one's bountiful food, one's endless space. They eat each other in their desperation to survive.
This meant that the rats stopped socializing, mating, eating, or raising any of their young, and instead became extremely hostile and violent. And so this is the implication of what happened to the residents of Vault 32.
I think it's safe to say they went bananas.
So what did they learn about Vault 31 that made them go bananas?
I'm gonna get it. I'll get it, don't you worry. The key to the future of humanity. Alice is just ridiculous. The great game of the... Alright. This one's it. I'll get it this time. The key to the future of humanity is... Nope. Maybe I have to... Nope.
You see, Vault 31 is not like Vaults 32 and 33 at all, because its entire dweller population is cryogenically frozen.
Where's the rest of the vault?
This is the rest of the vault.
Is this where my dad's from?
You'll never find out. Oh, he's gonna find out.
The Dwellers of Vault 31 are a hand-picked group of junior Vault-Tec executives and executive assistants who Bud Askins trained back before the war.
These are Bud's buds. My buds. America outsourced the survival of this country to the private sector, but it would have been insane to keep a failed nation alive, so we kept Vault-Tec alive instead. A well-trained staff of highly supervised junior executives for my own assistant training program. Because the future of humanity comes down to one word. Management.
And Bud Askins, to this day, is the overseer of Vault 31, managing Vaults 32 and 33 from his brain in a Roomba setup.
I am the overseer here. My orders must be followed.
Over time, Bud Askins chooses various members of his cryogenically frozen population to send out to the other vaults to breed into the Vault Dwellers of 32 and 33.
When you put it like that, sounds downright morally questionable. They're our breeding pool. The ultimate expression of HRRC, genetically selected to breed with my buzz make lemonade. People who will inherit the earth after we've wiped the surface clean.
And so at regular intervals, Bud would unfreeze one of his execs and install them into the vaults to make sure that a Vault-Tec employee was continuing to manage the situation. Because remember, when things look glum, vote 31. Now, part of the reason that Bud designed his 3 vaults this way was to serve as a buffer against threats in case one vault was compromised, which did in fact happen. That is what happened to Vault 32. And for the past 200 years, all of the overseers have been trades from Vault 31 governing Vaults 32 and 33 to make sure that they accomplish Bud's directive of creating super managers for the wasteland. So how would you feel knowing that you've been bred to be a super manager? Imagine knowing that the only people left to populate the planet were Vault-Tec employees. So would you be okay being a Vault-Tec employee by blood? Or would you rather disappear into the wasteland?